Russias and the Chinas.
Elon. Who called my name? I'm busy fucking up Twitter. Trump.
Wait for it. No, seriously, wait for it. Coming up. Go.
Brace yourselves for the State of the Union address review. Jaw drops. Straight for the man who's, well, he's put the panic in Hispanic, President Trump himself. It's the only speech where fact checkers are busier than a one-armed wallpaper hanger. A speech that was so packed with alternative facts, even Pinocchio was taking notes. Anyway, here's our 24/7 exclusive laugh-packed rebuttal that I don't even think Conan O'Brien's lawyers would touch with a 10-foot pole. Welcome to the State of Confusion address. Tonight, we witness President Trump deliver his State of the Union, which he might as well have called it the State of Delusion. It's the only speech the fact checkers are checkmate against logic.
Little pain.
Babe, how much did we lose today?
Little pain.
million?
And yesterday?
4 million?
Little
And
pain.
yesterday?
A billion?
Tariff Awards, we're going to celebrate the most outstanding achievements in international economic blunders.
Holy fucking shit.
Little
Holy
pain.
shit.
You should probably dial in.
Holy
Little
fucking
pain.
Cowboy carnival.
This ain't Texas. Well done to Beyonce, Best Country Artist at the Grammys. Talking of awards, let's do the Tariff Awards, where we celebrate, yes, the Tariff Awards. We're going to celebrate the most outstanding achievements in international economic blunders. Tonight's ceremony is brought to you by the letter T for tariffs, trade wars, and Trump's terrific tantrums. And Tony. Let's dive into our first category, Best Impersonation of a Bull in a China Shop. And the nominees are... Oh wait, it's a one-man show. Guess who? Donald Trump and his performance in Tariff Nardo, The Art of the Squill, imposing a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico, and a 10% tariff on China and Europe. Watch out, you may be getting one too. Trump has managed to ruffle more feathers than a fox in a henhouse. Moving on to outstanding achievement in alienating allies. I said you watch out. Trump's tariffs have prompted Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to retaliate with, well, his own set of tariffs, which include a 25% hit on $155 billion worth of American goods. Wow. Trudeau stated, "We will not be pushed around." Kind of looks like the bromance is officially over, folks, although I'm sure Melania was hanging in somewhere for a little bit of a cheek action. In the category of Best Comedy and Economic Policy, we have Trump's justification for the tariffs, blaming Canada, well, why not, for the influx of fentanyl into the US. Yes, because, let's be honest, when we think of dangerous drug cartels, well, I definitely think of maple syrup-loving Canadians. You're first on the list. The Wall Street Journal didn't hold back, calling it the dumbest trade war in history. That gets... should get a nomination all in itself for the headline. Next up, best supporting role in a trade war. And the award goes to Mexico, whose president, Claudia Sheinbaum, announced plans for retaliatory tariffs on US goods. She stated, "We will defend Mexico's interests." It's like a telenova, but with more avocados and less romance. Now, let's not forget the Lifetime Achievement Award in Economic Self-Harm. Trump's tariffs are expected to cost the average US household, wait for this, about $830 annually. That's just for the eggs. It's the gift that keeps on taking. In a surprise twist, the best original excuse for inflation goes to Trump for saying, tariffs don't cause inflation, they cause success. There. Tell that to the American consumers facing high prices and everything. As I said, from X to electronics. But hey, who needs affordable goods when you can have success? It's the golden age of, well, eggs, I suppose. Talking about laying gold eggs. Finally, the People's Choice Award for Unwanted Economic Policy goes to another drum roll. Rubbish drum roll. You guessed it, the tariffs. A recent poll shows that Americans are actually overwhelmingly opposed to the new tariffs. It's hardly surprising. Many are fearing, or joking apart, increased prices and economic instability. Trump calls it pain. It looks like this policy is about as popular as a skunk at a garden party. He really did call it pain. You've got to go through a little bit of pain, and MAGA don't mind now. Ladies and gentlemen, that actually concludes our tariff awards for the evening. Pain's on the way, by the way. Remember, in the world of international trade, as in Hollywood, it's all about who you know, how much you charge them, and how dramatically you can mess it all up. Good night, good day, goodbye, and may your imports be ever duty-free.
Until we keep a con man from taking over the party of Reagan and the conservative movement. The stakes are giving control of the party of Lincoln and Reagan, of the conservative movement, and ultimately of the United States over to a con artist. That will not happen. I make this promise to you today. Perhaps we need to start looking out for ourselves. And that's why the Ukrainian situation is so much more important than simply what's happening in Europe. This has implications around the world. Over to a con artist. That will not happen. I make this promise to you today. For years to come, there are many people on the right, in the media, and voters at large that are going to be having to explain and justify how they fell into this trap of supporting Donald Trump, because this is not going to end well one way or the other.
All right, troops, gather around. Won't eat my cookie just yet. Let's host the farewell tour for Marco Rubio's political spine. Turns out it was made in China and just couldn't handle American pressure. Yes, it's true. Folks, Marco's been so invisible in policy discussions, he's basically the political equivalent of a wet lettuce. Someone's cutting trees in the background. Even a wet lettuce, though, would hold up better under Trump's shadow. So, Trump had a showdown with Zelensky, and guess who sat there? Nodding like one of those dashboard bobbleheads. Our own Rubio. If silence were an Olympic sport, Marco would finally win something that might impress his ex-supporters. I think MAGA have had enough. Now, let's list things that are tougher than Marco Rubio. Excuse me. Single-ply toilet paper. Even that doesn't fold as easily under pressure. A soap bubble. Well, that holds more substance in a debate. The closed door button on an elevator. Well, at least that pretends to work. What do we got? A marshmallow in a parking lot stands its ground higher and longer at high noon. Diet water. Yep, it's a thing. And yep, it's got more flavour than anything Rubio's going to say. Folks, This guy's career is like watching a try not to cringe challenge. He had dreams in the Oval Office. Now he'd settle for a retweet from the real boss of the GOP, Elon. Yeah, not Trump. Musk has entered the chat, ladies and gents. Rubio's now so desperate to seem relevant that he's been spotted whispering state secrets to Siri. I'm hoping she'll leak them just so he can get some airtime on CNN talking about leaks. And at this rate, he's just one tweet away from being demoted to intern. I feel there's more. I really do. We can't let Marco off so lightly. Marco Rubio has perfected the art of invisibility better than Harry Potter's cloak. I'm sure. I mean, during the Trump-Zelensky showdown, he was quieter than a mime at a library. In that seat. If they handed out medals for silence, Marco would be a perennial gold medalist. It's like he's playing a never-ending game of political hide and seek. And folks, let's face it, he's winning because no one's even looking for him anymore. We've kind of given up. Bye-bye. The list of things that are definitely stronger than Marco Rubio. I could go on. Where should we start? A snowflake on a Florida summer day. Yup. Even that lasts longer under the sun than Rubio's resolve in a debate. The Wi-Fi signal in an elevator. Far more reliable than Rubio's stance on any issue. A chocolate fire guard. That's more effective at keeping things cool under pressure. Dehydrated water. Just add water and voila. Still more useful than Rubio's contributions in Congress. Never mind in the Zelensky meeting. A glass hammer. Better for nailing policies than Rubio's watery speeches. The guy is just toast. He should just descend into obscurity and never come back. I remember when Marco Rubio tried to be the voice of reason. Yeah, neither does he anymore. These days, he's just more washed up than a message in a bottle on the beach in his home state of Florida. And let's be honest, if political careers had sell-by dates, Rubio's would be on clearance by now, tucked away behind the last Ted Cruz speech and Halloween candy. That's how stale it is. What's weaker then? Okay, let's play what's weaker. Marco or a soap opera villain's alibi. Day-old soda left open. Plot lines in a reality show about watching paint dry. They will all put up a better, stronger fight than Rubio in a policy discussion. He's Secretary of State. The Marco Rubio fan club, it's so exclusive, even he's not a member. You know you're in trouble, actually, seriously, when your fan club meetings could be held in a lift and there'd still be room for a Trump rally. Do we have some career advice for Marco Rubio? Do we just? Maybe it's time for Marco to pivot. We could say jog off. How about starting a TikTok? Something like that, where he teaches people how to fold and dance under pressure. It'd be a hit. I like his policies. Closing toast, because I have to have my cookie and eat it. Here's to Marco Rubio, who's done less to affect change in Washington than a broken vending machine. Marco, you made a career out of almost standing up to Trump, and for that, we almost salute you. I think the power went to his tiny bobblehead. To the Union Address Review. Jaw drops. Straight for the man who's, well, he's put the panic in Hispanic. President Trump himself. It's the only speech where fact checkers are busier than a one-armed wallpaper hanger. A speech that was so packed with alternative facts, even Pinocchio was taking notes. Anyway, here's our 24/7 exclusive laugh-packed rebuttal that I don't even think Conan O'Brien's lawyers would touch with a 10-foot pole. Welcome to the State of Confusion address. Tonight, we witness President Trump deliver his State of the Union, which he might as well have called it the State of Delusion. It's the only speech the fact checkers are seriously busier than a one-armed wallpaper hanger. Elon's space oddity and Trump's terra firma fantasy. That's what we saw. First off, Trump praised his president, Elon Musk, who seems to be on a mission to make Mars habitable for humans because Earth might be too damaged by the end of this term. Trump hailed him as a pioneer. Forgetting to mention the only thing Elon has actually pioneered lately is how to crash stocks with a single tweet, or X, whatever it's called. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's just Elon's latest business model going up in flames. Trade wars, the art of losing deals. Trump boasted about winning trade wars so much that even his tariffs started to feel like participation trophies. Who knew that the best way to win a trade war, according to Trump, was to surrender faster than you can say, made in China? Melania's independence saga continues. Melania, bless her, tiny violin. Heart. She's taken social distance into a whole new level, moving to a different wing of Mar-a-Lago. At this rate, she'll need a visa to visit Trump in the Oval Office. Fox News, the lapdog media. Oh dear. If flattery were a sport, they'd be the perennial Olympic champions. They brown-nosed so hard during the dress, you'd think they were digging for oil. I'm serious, if brown-nosed were an Olympic sport, they'd have won more gold than Fort Knox. They literally covered Trump's speech with such glowing admiration, you'd think he just solved quadratic equations live on air, instead of mixing up the nuclear codes with his Twitter password. Something like that. Zelensky and the art of being ignored. Trump's advice to Zelensky about handling Russians was like, well, asking a fire hydrant how to deal with dogs. Subtle and oh so helpful. Just like his health policies. The unspoken State of the Union highlights. Trump forgot to mention a few minor details in his speech. I know. The wall is now just a line in the sand drawn with a Trump-branded golf club. What happened to Mexico? The new health plan. Spoiler alert. It's an apple a day and a pat on the back from Dr. Oz. Yeah. Actually, the new healthcare plan is called Survival of the Fittest. May the odds be ever in your favour. His climate change plan involves buying a fan if it gets too hot. Sorry. And as for his immigration policy, if you can dodge a wrench, well, you can dodge a border patrol. One of those planes dropping from the sky. Question. What's weaker, Marco Rubio or Trump's golf handicap? Honestly, it's a toss-up after watching that State of the Union address. Marco has been so ineffective, he makes ghost employees look busy. He's like the appendix of the political world. No one's really sure what he does or why he's there. He loves the sofa like J.D. Vance. In conclusion, if Trump's presidency were a movie, it'd be called Dumb and Dumber, now with more X, as in Twitter. Remember, every time Trump tweets, a fact checker loses their wings. In fact, if Trump's speeches were like the one tonight, any more detached from reality, it would need its own zip code. Here's to another year of tweets, X's, tantrums, maybe a trade deal or two, or war, provided they're negotiated at the kiddie table. Let me just say, after watching that, if you're feeling down about politics, just imagine Trump and Elon playing chess, where every move, well, it's a checkmate against logic. Bicker on. Gather round for the circus. Trump promised it wouldn't be a circus, but remember when Trump claimed he'd have all the best people? Well, it turns out the best people were just the best at creating chaos with a capital C, literally from the get-go. Trump was more focused on signing executive actions with a flourish than actually reading them. Remember that one? The one about bringing manufacturing back. Day one. Well, that was last seen heading south faster than retirees to Florida in the winter. Then there's Elon Musk, Trump's sidekick in turning government into an episode of Survivor. Musk's idea of cutting waste is like, well, using a flamethrower to trim your hedges. Effective? Kind of maybe. But a disaster waiting to happen. And definitely in his latest stunt, Elon, well, he's fired half the federal workforce. They realise he's got to rehire them for the next week because they're actually doing important stuff like, I suppose, guarding our nukes, running food safety. Don't get me started on eggs. Well, not yet. Let's not forget, by the way, Trump's promise to end the Ukraine war on day one, in one day. Bad impression. Troops, the only thing he's actually ended is America's credibility. At this point, his strategy seems to be tweeting threats in all caps. Because if it's loud, in his world, it must be true, right? Yeah. The economy. Trump's got a plan for that too. It involves tariffs that make about as much sense as a fish needing a bicycle. Ask Trudeau. Under Trump, the stock market is like a drunk on a trampoline. Lots of ups and downs, and you're always one bad decision away from disaster. Marco Rubio. Well, he's been in the news too. He's quietly seething every time Trump tweets. Rubio's so frustrated, he might just switch to decaf to avoid shaking on the Senate floor or shriveling into the seat in the White House. He thought he'd be steering the ship. Turns out he's just rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. What a Marco! What a promotion for you. Not. And for the grand finale of Trump's first month, let's talk about his press conferences, rallies, whatever it is. They're less political gatherings and more like open mic nights where facts go to die. Trump's still out there, folks, tossing paper towels to problems and hoping they'll clear themselves up as Fox News and co. rush to, kiss the ring. Remember this, yeah? If you thought Trump's first term was a roller coaster, we're into, 5 weeks of the new one. Strap in, because this one's shaping up to be a whole amusement park of crazy. And at this rate, who knows? Seriously, by next month, we might just miss the days when all we had to worry about was a tweet or something on X. Welcome to the comedy event of 2025, I think. Let's talk about the world's richest puppet, Elon Musk. I mean, can you imagine being so rich, still ending up as Trump's lapdog? It's like becoming a billionaire only to spend your life fetching slippers for Uncle Scrooge. Elon, buddy, when you teamed up with Trump, did you think it was a Mars mission? Because, man, it looks like you've crash landed at a MAGA rally. And let's be honest, being Trump's BFF is a bit like, I don't know, being the smartest kid in detention. Sure, you might have some good ideas, but you're still stuck in a room where the walls are padded with conspiracy theories and you've got a direct line to Marjorie Taylor Greene and the chalk is used for outlining the next coup. Elon, your future. It's not so bright and it's definitely not Tesla red. Now, you've got to hand it to Elon. He's a visionary. He's planning to colonize Mars, probably because it's the only place left, I think, where Trump's policies make sense. But back here on Earth, he's the fool guy. You know, the one who gets left holding the bag when Trump decides it's time to play hot potato with the Constitution. Tremendous. Bad impression, Tony. Picture this. America's economy takes a dive faster than Elon's reputation at the union meeting or the Tesla showroom in New York. And who do you think is going to take the blame? Spoiler alert. It's the guy who thought flamethrowers were a good side hustle. Yeah. Elon, with all your rockets, did you ever think you'd be the one to crash and burn? And I don't mean another SpaceX test flight. I mean being the sacrificial billionaire when Trump needs to distract us from his latest Twitter or trade war, whatever's going on with his latest policy somewhere. Let's face it, Elon's eventual booting is going to be so epic it'll need its own pay-per-view event with Steve Bannon doing the commentary. And Trump will be there, folks, tweeting, Xing, like it's the season finale of his reality show presidency. Unfair to Elon. but it's going to be great, tremendous for ratings. Let's work on the impression. And as Trump's right-hand tech